Previously on the Odyssey campaign, our group returned from closing the rift on Mount Nova and began preparations to have spellcraft sneak them into the upper city. While preparing, at the request of Havoc, Morgrim attempts to communicate with his yak and finds out that someone's mind is trapped within the beast. Soon after, Atlas announces to the group that he will be unable to join them on the trip to the upper city, but asks that they retrieve an item from his old dorm room, a magical chest guarded by a dangerous spirit. The day finally arrives, and Spellcraft has the group hidden within crates that are to be shipped to the upper city. They pass the guards without a hitch, and we rejoin them as they slowly and cautiously emerge from within their crates.
You guys step out into Old Town, and this is a much different sight to behold than any of the places below.
What time of day is it?
It is morning.
Alright.
So how long was the trip in total? Probably an hour?
About 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, okay, so really early. Holy
Do we
crap.
know where we're going?
You can see people are just now starting their day. It's probably around 7 or 8 o'clock. And the people up here are dressed very, very nicely. Damn it, I just did it again. Oh, adjectives. And there are people walking around with like floating wizard books, reading them off as they go, and it's all very prim and posh and proper.
Proper?
And the buildings here are very upkept.
So when I went to Lisbon in Portugal, the roads were paved with small little tiles, and the walls were paved with small little tiles, and they all have to be replaced by hand. And they're all beautiful, and they were all like
Mosaics
and stuff. And that's sort of what I imagined when I imagined
It's just all of the roads are paved brilliantly with like marble.
Yeah.
And it's so far different from the under the low town, which is usually just like dirt roads or maybe cobbled streets, the main streets.
Yeah.
But up here, there's lots of space. There's trees. There's greenery. There's all the buildings are clean. All the buildings are intact. There's no fires.
And the roads are significantly more empty.
There's also like street lights that are just now turning off. Probably powered by magic, you'd imagine.
Behind the
Warehouse?
the people walking around, can you see servants?
Yeah.
Behind mages?
Yep.
Okay, so I go to Melf and say, okay, so this is the plan. When we walk out
Better
here...
really emphasize that E.
Yeah, the Melf. Hey, I'm sorry, Melf, but I'm going to have to change your name to something a little bit easier for everybody to understand when we're hanging around these mages. Your new name's going to be Dave. So, Dave, when we're out here, I'm going to have to treat you...
That's the most elven name I've ever heard.
Dave. What a ridiculous Dave from Bergaramore. What a ridiculous name for an elf.
I'll research that. Anyways. So right now your name's going to be Dave. So when we go out there, I'm going to have to treat you like a low servant. Just want to let you know I see you as an equal, but I treat you like a little servant.
He's just like really leaning into the whole slave thing right now. Like he's like, I really want to get these guys a job, but now you're going to work for me for cheap. You know, I don't really care about you. And now I'm changing your name, actually, because I don't like your name.
Yeah, I'm paying him double what you were paying. He is a woke slave owner.
Yeah.
I'm paying him double what you were paying him.
That wasn't my rates. It was Spellcraft's rates.
Still.
I pay everyone equally.
Havoc, who do you want to be a servant for? A fake servant. Also, Morgrim, are you a fake servant as well?
For volley.
Okay.
I had an answer.
What are you dressed as?
I'm dressed as a like an upper class elf because elves are.
Sure. It'd be weird if somebody had 2 servants. So we've got 3. So Hippocampus
He's
has
a doctor.
Griff. Volley
Except they're
has
both magical, so
Morgrim.
it's kind of funny that they're sticking together.
Zool has Melf, and I guess I'll stick with you.
Okay.
Do you want me to carry your sword?
No, he doesn't like that. Actually, we could answer that one probably.
The sword glares at you without any eyes.
You feel the intensity.
The glare just hangs there itself with no expression to wear it.
Specialized.
I mean, he
I
can
had-
answer.
I had good intentions.
And one thing, and you know, the commotion of the day is beginning. But to call it commotion would be unfair because it's very orderly, and it almost seems like no one has any business to do. It's like just sort of like a lazy Friday morning.
Is it Friday?
Yes.
Yeah.
I approach. Oh no! Do you know what? Do I know the streets of the upper city well enough to know how to get to the Wizards College from where I am?
You can see the Wizards College.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of big.
Okay, cool. So I guess we should start making our way.
We should get there and get out as quick as possible.
Guys,
Tuck my arms into my sleeves.
party doesn't start till tonight. We can't get in.
Well, aren't they doing the tours?
Yes, but not till tonight.
We can take a look.
Why would the tours be at night? Really? Are the tours at night? Touring the campus?
At this moment,
I was going to say, that's what I was told.
A crowd comes by. It's a new family by the looks. A child no more than maybe 6 or 7 years old, and their parents come by and they say, "Whoa!" They see you guys.
First
sort of
cheers this way.
yeah, right. They see you guys sort of like gathering around, and you hear them over chatting about the. Like just how swell the college is, and how much fun and how much their child's going to learn there, and they start heading towards the college.
I could have sworn I was told it was tonight.
Do I see the medical college?
I'm pretty sure
You know that is a subset of the mage college.
I think the party's night, the tours are during the day. It must be. No one looks at a college.
It's a 2-day thing.
Yeah, 2 days of tours and then a party.
Going with it.
But I'm pretty sure it started tonight.
Haven't you ever been to orientation?
No, I haven't. I had no teaching.
I approach the patron of the family.
Okay.
I'll say,
Ballsy. I guess I have to dutifully follow him.
well, you can hang back.
That's a mistake.
Well, yeah, I'm behind you, but like, I'm there to intervene. The handle of my whip is like peeking out of my sleeve.
So I approach him and I go, "Excuse me, young man.
Yeah.
Have you heard if they're giving any tours of the dormitories? I'd like to know whether or not I'd be having a nice stay."
They do.
They do.
Yes. Don't you know that you stay overnight?
I had not.
Oh, yes.
My slave had not educated me. Not this one. He's excellent. My other slave, who was not able to come to the city for obvious reasons. She did not tell me that.
Your slaves tell you the information?
Of course! I don't learn the information for myself.
Are you pretending to be a slave, or you just, as soon as you got up here, you just don't care anymore because you got up here?
Come along, son. These elves are weird.
Holy
No, I was just curious. Are you pretending to be
That
a
didn't
slave?
seem to go over.
I wouldn't think so now that you're up here.
If they think we're over the top, they won't think that we're fake.
So, we're supposed to spend the night tonight. Let's be honest, guys. What are the chances we can get in the middle of the day? Slim to none. So, how about we look around?
Yeah.
I'm going to mage college.
Is the library, like the Grand Library, like my whole purpose of even coming to Point Nova, is it in the Mage College as well, or is it its own building?
It is effectively the Mage College is a campus of the Mage College.
Yep.
Then inside of that, there's like the medicine and the proper school, like basic school, law school.
Lawyers.
But then apart from that, there's another building that is the library, and they have a quad between them.
All right. I'm going to the library because that was my whole purpose of coming here.
As
Besides
you
getting, Atlas thing, the whole purpose of why I wanted to come to Porto Nova.
Do you want to go?
And you're coming with me, I'm pretty
Get
sure.
some good food.
As you wish.
Unless you want to follow one of them. It's
I'm
up to you. I don't
following you.
care.
I'm just here when things eventually go wrong.
I was going to say, it's up to you. You can
Broken.
stick with me or you can hang out with one of them because they don't have a follower.
They're going to a medical school. I have some research to do.
Well,
I
I'm
will
not
follow.
going there.
He's doing whatever he wants. He
I'll figure it out. Only time.
Well, time will tell.
If you can get one every episode, I bet.
So I feel like, since there's a lot of elves in
Can we
this
have, like, a
area,
crown
is
count
my
for every
church
time you
up
make a
here,
time
the Great
joke?
Elven Court? Do you know if there might be a church up
There's
here?
a church up here for that.
The Great
There's a
Elven Court is a court.
It's not.
Well, it
official.
is a
Take
it called?
this from your notes.
I made up.
It's
a
a
sect.
Yeah, it's like a divine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Not like that.
We're gonna try going to the dorms to see if we can scout out the area around it.
Yeah, there's 2 places I want to go. I gotta go to the library, and I gotta go to the old ruins of Solomon's Temple. So 2 places I gotta go.
2 places, very high profile.
Very high profile, but I don't care. I'm a wizard. I can get away with this shit.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go to the place with the great.
I know enough magic to get by here.
Okay.
So, what time do we all want to meet up? Because that's definitely important.
Well, if that's nighttime, why shouldn't we meet up at like 5 o'clock? That way.
I can ask somebody for information for when the night tours are.
You need to stop talking to people.
How else are we gonna find anything out?
He has a better charisma score than you.
So what? I own a business. Partial business. 10% of the business.
I don't think your business
Can we
credentials
find-
are very well respected up here.
I would like to make a perception check
Did you
to
make
see if there's
flyers,
any,
by the
like,
way?
banners that say tours start here.
Go for it.
A 17 plus an 8 is a 25. 25, yeah.
It's like all these arrows are pointing.
You find banners. They don't say tour start here, but they do say welcome initiates of the new like whatever year we want this to be.
Yeah. I elbow Victus sharply in the ribs and point over to there.
I wouldn't been the same.
Start to make our way towards.
I'm not really fully playing the role of a servant very well.
I'm surprised you hung out with him after he stabbed you.
Yeah, well,
It was a diplomatic stab.
Did he realize that he stabbed him?
I'm still somewhat covered in knives, and I've got
You have a
I've got
lot
a mean
of
streak.
I was gonna say, out of all the damage everybody has for scars, you have a lot.
I am still covered in scars.
You have a lot of scars. He's got a scar of like a tree trunk that went right in his back. I got a spear through the chest. Who else has a really good scar so far? Anybody?
I got thrown against a tree until I bled out.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
That's why I said you got a tree like spike right through the back.
Anyway, we go over to the banner, I guess.
Are you leading this group, or aren't you a slave?
Yeah,
No, he's like behind me, but clearly pushing.
well,
me
like I started walking that direction, and then you said I had to like get in front of me to make it look like I'm following you.
So we prim and properly walk up to the to the
Oh
banner.
my god.
I'd like to imagine I've still got my cleats on under my nice suit.
Oh my god, you're destroying the tiles on the ground. You just got somebody out there like replacing them immediately. Like, what the hell?
Well, I'm sure there's like unseen servants or something that.
Oh yeah.
I'm going straight to the medical.
Okay.
I'm going straight to the
I have
library.
business.
Okay.
I guess I'm following them first just to see what time this thing starts. That way there I know. And
We'll
we'll
all
go
say
to
we
the-
meet up by 5, 6 o'clock, right outside the main doors. Good? Great. Awesome.
I have purpose.
See you through.
See that you don't have to interfere with it.
Okay.
I've been waiting for
He wants-
seconds to do that.
He wants his degree.
I'm that character too. Why is
Everybody's heading-
I've been saying like 5 episodes.
That's not towards the college. You're not quite going there. Where are you going?
She's with me. She's pretending to be my servant.
I just want to see what time, and then I'm going to head to the sect.
Okay. So you guys head over there, and Volley and Morgrim sort of split off, and they start heading towards the library portion of this campus. And you guys see a line of attendees. There's probably about 50 or 60 people, including parents. And you realize that not too many students are getting in each year. Like among these people, you'd imagine only about half of them are students or prospective students. Additionally, as you get closer to this sort of commotion, People are gathering around. They're having chats. There's like unseen servants going around with platters of goodies and treats and trays and treats and teas and coffees and drinks and vodka. And people are getting ready. You know, they've gathered around. It's probably around like 8 o'clock now. And
No.
all right.
Oh boy.
And you can hear them talking about like, oh, this year they implemented a new teacher, don't you know? And like, you know, all sorts of boring.
What were the names of the teachers?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I kind of wanted to know.
Fuck off.
Alright.
I'm not gonna fucking name the staff.
I just wanted the name of the new teacher you were saying.
I don't care who it is.
I was gonna use it.
Good idea.
I was going to use
That's a good name.
I hustle up to Havoc and I whisper to him, maybe we could try finding Atlas's old roommate. Remember him? Mentioned the Enter Duodorf?
Duo. Oh yeah, I wasn't there for that conversation.
Okay. Alright.
You walked in awkwardly at
Because
the
he
end.
had somehow opened up the box previously.
You almost died from doing that.
So we might be able to have a conversation with him.
Lead the way, sir.
I'm just making sure that we're on the same page on this, alright?
Yeah.
Okay.
The page I'm on is smash things when they go south.
Okay.
I look over to a small child that's looking up to me.
Cut him in the head.
Stella Star.
Stella Star?
No, I just forgot it. Crest. Stella Star Crest. That's the
Stella Star. And what was she teaching?
You didn't hear that. You just
Okay.
heard that
No,
she's
that's
a
all
new
I.
teacher.
Okay.
She's a new teacher.
I approach one of the people
Okay.
and I say, do you know where we can speak to some of the teachers? I've heard good things about this one Entner Duodorf.
Oh yes, he's been teaching for some time now.
One of my friends is an alumni. And he was good. He was a good friend.
A good friend of the teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't say.
Do you know where his office is that I might be able to talk to him?
That's why I'm here.
There will be a parent-teacher meeting.
Perfect. When? Where?
Noon.
Okay.
Today. In the Grand Library.
Excellent.
Not the Grand Library, the Grand Library.
Oh, the Grand Library.
Yes,
I know exactly.
you're familiar with it.
Oh.
Sometimes I mispronounce it though. Grand Library.
The Grand
12
Library.
o'clock.
Yep.
You know.
Oh, actually, I have a quick question.
What?
I haven't been in the city very recently. Has which one is the Grand Library again?
Not the big one.
Not the big one.
The other one.
The other one.
You know.
Which is, could you describe to me the location?
Yes. I think these are all going to be Monty Python voices. He describes to you. This is a dude, by the way.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he describes to you. He's got like a powdered wig. It's way out of fashion, though.
No, that's fine. I don't judge.
He describes to you that there's the Grand Library, which is the building that is separate, and then the Grand Library is a building inside. It's a room inside of the college, and those who desire to access the library get access to it.
Okay.
That's how the college kind of works sometimes.
And the last thing I ask him,
Yes.
do you know what he teaches?
Entner?
Yes, Entner.
Oh, he teaches conjurations.
It sounded like that was an incomplete sentence.
And dueling.
Nice.
Dueling.
Yes.
Well, have a nice day.
Yes.
I hope to see you at the Pack Teacher Conference.
They say that Ender.
I stick around.
This guy's like following you now.
Yeah, I stop and okay.
They say he's quite the duelist.
I've heard stories.
Stories?
Stories.
Don't you know he's defeated dragons? Dragon?
I heard he defeated a rust. Rust monster? What are these?
Yeah, that's the correct.
That's the
they're
correct
called
term.
Rust monsters.
Rust
yeah.
monster.
What a foul beast.
Yes. And he executed with quite aplomb. I have to go.
Very good.
I take a bow and I back away.
What do I need?
Alright, I slip into the crowd and do a stealth check.
I like body block for him. Like this. Like, he said he was going.
Enter is quite the odd fellow. Oh. It seems I'm alone now.
The rest of the campaign just follows this guy. I know, right? Just wandering around making idle
Approaching
statements.
adventurers. Have you heard of the story of John Pam? Alright, I gotta leave.
So I'm at the library.
Yeah.
I want to enter the library.
Okay.
I enter the library.
You enter into the grand library,
I get on to the library.
and this building is impossibly structured. There are pillars that don't quite reach from the ground to the ceiling.
Yep.
Rather, they're like, some pillars start here and go and stop about halfway up, and some pillars are on the other and they come down, stop about halfway. And this building shouldn't be able to structurally support itself, but something is keeping it up.
Magic.
And the walls are coated with these bookshelves, which are moving. They just sort of like move around like a mirage, and you can see that there's someone on the ground, and bookshelves seem to sort of like come in, stop in front of him. He grabs a book off of it and flies off, almost like there's no access to the books on the floor. They're all floating around in the sky. And in front of you is a large and ornate, like marble and granite polished desk with a clerk behind it.
I go up to the clerk.
Hello.
Hello. I'm here to check out a few books today.
Oh, have you got your card? Your library card?
Oh, I'm new actually. I'm the new teacher, Stellar Starcrest.
That's a woman.
It's a woman. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
He takes off his like.
By the way, I have a really long.
He takes off his like reading glasses.
Yes.
You're Stella Starcrest.
Something wrong?
Stella Starcrest
Please
is
say it.
standing over there.
I was really hoping for like a Tengu woman. I would have been like, gotcha.
No, that is me.
No, I checked her in just a moment ago. Right here. Here's her name. Stella Starcrest on my list.
That's impossible.
Well, she's preparing for her speech today in the Grand Library.
I'm here.
Son of a bitch, Joe.
No, that's bad.
Can you get... Oh, sorry. I'm there, so I was curious. Can I get down to where you can select the books?
No.
Or you have to talk to this person?
Yeah, the books are like this is like there's like a
Like a barrier.
it's
with
not
this
quite
desk.
it's not like a physical barrier, but it's like you know like railings in like courthouses. It's like that.
Okay.
So you'd have to like pass through the gate to get over there. It's so there's nothing physically stopping you because there's a space that you can go through. Stella, oh sorry. Ooh, a little bit of this guy came back.
I'll solve this problem, and I walk over to where.
Do you have good
Actual
sleight of
stuff.
hand?
Stella is beyond the fence. Yeah, she's beyond the barrier. She's got a book in her hand and she's like pacing back and forth.
Duncan. I need to speak with her.
No.
Stella, the clerk.
I go and like knock on the bubble.
It's not a bubble top.
Oh,
It's like a railing. And she turns and comes over, and she's quite graceful in her steps. She seems to
What
also
is
be
she?
a sylph. You recognize
okay.
you recognize the telltale like the tattoos.
Is she similar to what you looked like?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how you know.
I want to know what if it was wind,
All
water.
sylphs look the same.
Well, so I go over. He's not near me anymore, right? Like I walk away to go towards her.
Yeah, like she's on the other side of the
Yeah.
other side of the
He's
railing.
still attending at the desk, right?
Yeah.
All right. I just go over and I'm like, big fan.
Ooh, thank you.
I was wondering if any suggestions on good books to read.
Yes. She she rattles off a name about like interdimensional portals. That's the better part of like 20 or 35 words long.
Yeah.
And then she goes to reference all of the authors that wrote that book, which is the better part of like 50 or 60 pages. And she says that's a fine read.
I'm trying to think what I want to do next.
Well, I came here to find a way to dispel a curse put on.
Slaves aren't allowed to read.
What was it that he
This is me to you, pal.
I know. I'm just.
What was it that he said? I'm a mage. I can handle it.
He's doing the worst so far.
You're a little cocky. Shut up.
You're
not even there. You have no idea what's happening.
I'll try to impersonate somebody who's standing right there.
I didn't know she was over there.
You should have looked around.
Is your servant a Tengu?
Yes. Would you like to meet her?
Fascinating creature.
Oh boy.
Would you like to meet her?
Yes.
All right. I asked Morgan to come closer and to
Morgrim.
You're right. Hit the thing.
He's not paying attention.
Do it myself, God. And I introduced Morgrim to Stella.
Stella stands before you quite elegantly. A breeze blows her hair in a very like shampoo commercial kind of way. Right.
Just worth it.
She doesn't say anything, but she seems to just like glance over your feathers and you can almost see her like comprehending something.
Stella Starcraft, and I'll do a little curtsy. It is an honor to have you speak with me.
Yes.
Her voice is old man too.
My God. It's like Agent Smith.
It's right. They all have one voice.
It's like the city of Greg, where everybody's just the same person. Everybody's just Greg.
I love Greg, though. He's a good man.
Well, except the ones that were evil. Yeah. They're dead now.
There aren't too many of your kind up here on the high portion of town.
I am lucky enough to have Bali as a master and be able to see this wondrous city.
Oh, yes. There are many wonders to behold here indeed. Perhaps the two of you will be coming to my seminar later.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Ask when and where it is.
-2 charisma.
It's coming into effect now. Used it all at the strip joint. It's hard. I go, we would very much like to visit. Any chance VIP passes or anything like that?
It's an open house.
Oh, that's no fun.
Would those of us in the underclass be welcome?
Of course.
It would be my honor.
I must go back and retrieve a few books, if you don't mind, but we would be happy to come and listen later.
Well, it starts at noon. Don't be late.
We won't. It's, what, 11 right now?
Let's go 10.
10? Okay. Yeah.
No, it's like 9.
And
That's
is
fine,
it in the college?
It's in the Grand Library.
Grand. That's right. He had mentioned that. I knew that now. I was paying attention.
So we leave her and I go back to the desk. Is there someone else there now?
No.
Still the same guy?
Watched
Awesome.
you walk over.
Shut up. He was busy with other people. Don't worry about it.
There's nobody else.
What do you mean? There's a whole bunch of people. It's the Grand Library. There's a reason it's
you're
grand.
waiting in line now? This guy shows up.
Yes! Have him get us in!
I'm looking to check out a few books.
I suspect you still don't have your card with you. Your library card.
No.
Would you like to sign up for a library?
Yeah.
That's what you'd like, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, fill out this form.
All right.
He slides a form to you, and it's impossibly small to read. And he sits there quite patiently.
I fill it out and I fill in all of Atlas Blue's information.
Okay.
Oh
Do you fill in Atlas Blue's name?
No, I put my own name, but I use his room number and everything for the college.
Okay. Very good. I'll have this filed away immediately.
Thank you. And can I
Puts
give
down
you the
to a
list
stack
of
of papers.
Oh my gosh! Can I? Is there a expedited part?
The red tape.
I'm looking for 3 books specifically. I bet you can help me. I'm looking for the history of King Solomon's Temple.
Yes, we have that on copy.
Good. I'm also looking for anything to do about random wizard towers that pop up.
Oh.
Any information?
What do you?
And one more book. Something about what was it? I don't really know explicitly what book you're looking for. Like, is it polymorph?
Dispel curses involving transformation of creatures into animals.
What she said. But yeah, I repeat it. I don't let her speak for me.
Of course not.
Yes, I suppose we have books on all those sorts of things.
My God.
He's just
And when I write
past
my,
the death.
He's just standing behind him.
So when I sign my name, by the way, I don't put like Stellar. I put Stellar. So it's like a little bit spelled different.
Okay. It says, check back in 7 days.
Oh, jeez.
Come on.
5 to 6.
Is there in the expedite section? Because I know you put it on the big pile.
You don't know about an expedited section?
Do I? I don't see a
No.
pile is what I mean. Can I use Mage Hand to try to get my slip to the bottom of the pile?
Can you dual wield the mage hand?
What?
Like have one mage hand grab something and lift up the other.
Oh, no. I use Unseen Servant to go behind him and just refile it for me.
The thing is on the desk between you and him.
Okay, so when he's busy getting books for someone else, I'll have my Unseen Servant change it.
Hey, can your unseen servant just get the books first?
No, because they need to bring the books down specifically. I might be a librarian, but I don't know how to do what they're
That's
doing.
right, you
with the
are a
books.
librarian.
Yeah.
I'm an outcast.
Oh, can I just bond with this guy, actually? Over being a librarian once?
Might be a little late for that.
Huh? You can try.
Yeah, I'm going to tell him about the library I first
lie.
worked in as a child.
No, he said he spells his name Stella.
Yeah.
In a little
Yeah, I changed the
I was
spell.
about to say, it seems like these uptown people are pretty stupid. We've just walked up to them and just muddled our way through conversations and nobody's batted an eye.
Listen, he wanted to kill somebody as soon as we got up here.
What?
No, you
We
did.
had a sap.
I wasn't.
It stuns.
Yeah, you
Roll!
You can't kill people in this
I didn't
sap.
roll great. What am I adding? Just charisma again?
There's no library quite like this library.
No, there's not. That's why I'm amazed.
Please come back in 1 week.
Alright, I'm still gonna go with the Unseen Servant plan.
Okay. You're just gonna like stand around.
I'm just gonna wander around. I'm gonna be looking up. I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm just waiting for the conference or whatever stellar thing is gonna happen at noon. Just killing some time.
Okay.
File paperwork.
I'll do a little sketch of the library, like as a photograph for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you actually draw?
Yeah,
Oh, no
that's
shit.
why I make my own brochures or flyers.
No one ever said they were good. I mean, no one ever gets them.
It's a little like box with like the X windows. There's the library, and that's you, and this is me.
Because
First person ever allowed in here.
You wait around for a little while. Okay. And
Trying to push the paper.
before too long, a parade of people come into the building. You guys would have had this opportunity to go with these people because they all started shuffling off. They said, I'll get to that in a second. And just pause. Back about 30 minutes ago. Yeah. After this guy wandered off, another man shows up. And he's wearing a really elegant robe.
Is he dressed in, like, are we still with the big group?
Yeah. And he levitates up into the air. And his voice is loud and commanding. And he says, "Hello, initiates. And welcome. If you will please follow me, this tour will begin right now." We will start by heading to the Grand Library. Please do not confuse the Grand Library with the Grand Library.
Convenient.
Which we will be visiting later. Come along. And he levitates along.
I can follow, I guess.
Yep.
The crowd moves with him. The unseen servants that are floating around with trays and drinks and vodka come along too, and it's quite the gay time. And before too long, you cross the quad. There are students out there performing magic. Some of them are whipping around on magic brooms and magic carpets. Others are playing chess or reading books or are running around throwing frisbees and stuff.
What's that new thing that people do with the rope and they?
Oh, like slacklining?
Yeah, the slackline. That's hip.
and you guys sort of like file into the Grand Library.
They're flying tensors floating drones.
And this Grand Library is like unlike anything you guys have ever really seen before. You know, these bookshelves are flying around. Everything is happening seamlessly, and you can see people sort of standing about, milling around inside the library beyond the fence. There are tables and stuff in there for people to read at. Volley is off to the side, sort of meandering in an awkward fashion. And the instructor who's levitating around, he says, "This is the Grand Library. Every piece of information ever printed, ever put to words, is in this building." Questions?
Havoc chews his tongue.
I pull out a piece of paper and I write something on it and snicker away in my pocket.
I saw that. And that's in here too now.
He's in here, so it's in here.
Are we gonna blend into the group? Like
Yeah.
meld in?
Have I been able to file the paperwork?
Yeah, this amount of commotion might be a distraction enough.
Alright, I'm going to have my unseen servant file the paperwork accordingly.
What does
It's
that
a
say?
3.
Yeah, this guy doesn't see that.
So, top of the list, how long do I think I have to wait?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm just trying to guess off the top of my head.
You don't doubt that not today is the answer.
That's good enough, though. I just want to make sure I get it by the end of the week.
The mentor, the what's the guy that takes tours, gives tours?
Tour guide.
Presenter or tour guide?
What about in the museum?
Curator.
No, it's a different name.
Maitre d'.
No, shit. It's a weird name. It's a name
I'll
for
look it up.
the guy that wants to be.
The conflagrationist.
No.
No.
This is the Library of Alexandretta.
It's like docent. The museum docent.
Joe, does my character have the understanding that if he was to use magic, other people would be aware of it? Yeah, it is docent. Museum docent.
Yes. You understand when other people use magic, you understand that it's magic. Not necessarily that it's divine magic or arcane magic.
No. I mean, like,
If he wants to cast
if
in
I was
there,
to do
everybody got to
something,
know.
would I be under the understanding that, like, oh, you know, they probably saw me do that, or
It would be
they know
sensed.
what's going on, they'd sense it.
Oh. You know that a lot of spells require gestures and words. If you used those gestures and
What about
words,
supernatural stuff, like class abilities?
supernatural abilities do not require gestures or words.
And
Things like that are not so easily picked up.
And there's also, what is it, stealth casting, where you can actually cast stealthily.
That's only, I think, if you have like silent spell or still spell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, supernatural abilities are things that you can just do.
Okay, what I mean is, in the environment, like, am I under the understanding, like, if I was to just do something, that somebody would probably figure it out, and be like, oh, he just did something.
It depends how you do it. So if it's a spell, people will see you doing a spell.
Okay.
But if it's a supernatural ability, they might not notice it because it's not something that you're waving your hands about and speaking magic words about.
Okay. I need to think.
And this guy's rattling off the most boring lecture that you've ever heard.
Where Volley is right now?
Yeah, all of you all like 60 of you. This is a big
Oh, yeah.
have filed into this like subdivision of the grand.
Okay, so
library.
what's the preventing?
It's just a railing.
It's just a railing up, and then behind it is the library.
Everything's floating.
Yep.
Like all the bookshelves
So
are
in
floating.
the forefront, there's the big round desk. And then on the other side of that big round desk, there's a railing. And there are like little pass-throughs.
Okay, is there a spot behind the railing? Is there like a ton of people back there? Some people? Or
There's not a ton of people. There are some people.
are there some spots where there's like nobody?
Yeah, there's lots of space.
Okay. Then I need to look up something real quick, and I will be doing something.
Are you trying to teleport?
Yeah.
I believe that is a standard action.
Yeah, I'm sure people would notice if you're like doing incantations.
No.
Right?
It's
It's like
It's a different kind
I know what that is. That's Cloud Kill. What are you doing?
Well, he's using a supernatural power.
Yeah.
People might notice if you suddenly disappear.
How will I know if something's... I don't have anything supernatural.
So we're like in a big group of people.
You can just fly though.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be
I'm
bad.
sure they'll see a flying bird.
So how far away is
Beyond the railing?
beyond the railing in that spot that I'm looking at that's got nobody there?
Probably about 25 feet.
25 feet.
If you tell one of us, we could try to make a distraction.
Everyone except Doctor, who isn't here.
No.
Yeah, I'm not there.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna fizzle time back a little bit to the point where there's nobody here
How?
with time hop.
Is that the teleport?
Jump over the railing and then come back.
So you just appear on the other side of the ring.
Oh, you're going to do something beyond the railing?
I'm gonna go into the library.
What, yeah, so what are you going to do in the library?
I'm gonna start looking for some books about time and curses.
Okay.
So what happens is that you're standing there, you go back in time so you disappear, or the people were back in time so you appear, hop over a fence, and then disappear.
Not necessarily.
No, I just it's a teleport.
Alright, okay.
If you really need, it's a teleport, but there's time to it because it's a supernatural.
Like it could even be something like he stops time and takes
Yeah, I just walk over.
walks over there.
It could be like blink, okay.
Well, Blink is something else. Blink is like an ethereal shift.
You're like, no, I'm talking about this.
Blink is not an option, a choice. When you want to do it.
Huh? No, I can do it on command, but
Isn't my blink? It just
No. No. You gotta read this. Read this up.
It's different from the
It's not.
regular one now, right?
It's different from the third edition.
But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna, time hop over to that empty spot, come
Yeah.
back up, and then just start kind of perusing for the books I'm looking for.
So the bookshelves are flying around up in the air, and there's a guy. There's like a librarian who calls down the bookshelves and then requests the books from them. And he's the one over there who you can see is like a bookshelf will fly in. He'll take a book off of it. He'll hand it to someone, or maybe he'll put it on a cart, and then it flies away. The bookshelf. So.
So I can kind of see like how this works. I can sit there for a couple seconds and just observing. Like, all right, I kind of get it.
You can make a spellcraft check or an arcana check.
I'm gonna reroll on myself with revelation. Yeah, that's a fortune on me. Better. 16.
You don't understand what spell this guy's using to get these things to move around.
No, I wasn't saying the spell. I was saying just like the general, like people ask.
Oh, you got that immediately.
Okay, cool. That's what I was saying.
No, I thought you meant like you were going to try.
No,
to
I wasn't
put it
gonna
on
use the
your
magic. I was just.
own. Well, then you can revoke that roll. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see.
I told you what was happening.
Yeah, he's doing it, but like people have to come ask for the book. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's what I told you. Yeah.
Like a Google search, I just be like time.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Cool.
So you go up to the guy, the librarian.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him any for books on
Angel summoning and time manipulation, distorting curses and stuff like that.
You gotta be careful with that time magic. He just.
Oh yeah.
It's quite taboo, you know.
Just for
many students have been kicked out for it.
Research project on kids getting kicked out and what they may be researching.
Oh, I see. A bookshelf comes whizzing by. He plucks a couple of books off of it and hands them to you, and he says, and they're like volume, like compendium on time, and it looks like a pretty small book. When you open it up, it seems to have like 10 million pages in it somehow. And another bookshelf comes whizzing by, and he pulls that one out, and it's got like a halo glowing effect to it. It's like, oh, this one will tell you how to summon angels. That's a fun course. You should take it later on.
Oh, maybe I will.
Yeah, very good.
Then I go find the places, or like just places to sit and read.
Yeah.
And then they just like look over, and I'm just like sitting there with the book.
Instead of a brief history of time, it's like an in-depth history of time.
Novel 1 of 2 billion.
Yeah.
Year 1.
And like look up, see volley.
I want to try. I don't know how to make a gesture to tell him to get what books I need.
I don't think my character
that's
has
a bluff
any.
check. It's just like, yeah.
You can message,
I don't think I have that.
but I don't think my character has any
What's a useful spell?
I have a message.
concept of their.
If I send my
strife, right?
weasel
My
running
guy
over
doesn't
there,
know anything
I'm
about
sure
it.
people have it.
About them not having a library card?
No. No, Doom and stuff.
Oh, no, you don't.
I don't know anything about that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. All you know is that there's something with this yak that makes Havoc cry.
Okay. So I wouldn't know to ask.
It could be sexual.
This is the most dense book that you've ever read, this book on time. And you reckon that you could spend your entire lifetime, and then more of lifetimes, reading it. And
you control time.
And there are countless hypotheses about time, and about the flow of time, and about stopping time, and all sorts of cases, like case studies of students who tried stopping time or reversing time, and all the failures of those instances.
And there's nothing about people who may have succeeded or like large grand slam projects that may have like nobody knows about.
Sort of one of the latest entries in the book since you're skimming through, really.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to spend all day reading this book. Is that the heads of the Mage College are utilizing the powers of the rifts and the rifts, just the rifts.
Yeah.
To catalyze a time reaction.
So the risk has something to do with time manipulation. Is what I gathered from that.
You can gather from that.
And then
But you do know that the rifts are magically powerful, and that you need a lot of powerful magic to move time.
So I have a weird question. Are there any like moths or katydids or cockroaches running around?
This is the grand life.
It doesn't look like it. It looks like this place is spick and span.
Not a single animal?
No.
A dove?
No.
Oh.
There are familiars.
Because you're trying to use animal measure here.
I can send my familiar, but I was like, well, will they see a weasel and be like, why is there a weasel in this library?
I mean, if somebody sees a weasel run up to somebody and they're like, oh, hey, and pat it, and then it goes back, like, they'll probably assume that you're just...
Nice.
what about the angel book?
The angel book gives you a very complex and detailed summoning ritual for lesser angels and greater angels.
Probably get away with tearing out some of the pages, if you want.
You just take the books with you.
I can just write it down.
That's a lot. That's a lot of writing.
Checks to make sure nobody's looking.
I'll copy it down to my notebook.
Okay.
And give the guy. I'll probably give the books back. However, I figured out how that works.
Okay. by now the touring party has left. So we're gonna move with the tour.
That's fine.
I think the tour will sort of be the timeline.
I'll leave with the tour, but as I leave, I look at the guy behind the counter. I was like, "Can you send a servant with the books when you're ready?"
Yes.
Thank you.
7 days.
We'll see if it takes 7 days.
Yes, we will. I won't be. Meanwhile, Dr. Hippocampus, you've arrived at like the medical wing of this building. It sort of has its own entrance, and there's something sort of unremarkable about it compared to sort of just how grandeur and wonderful the rest of the building looks. This portion of the building almost looks ordinary.
We're scientists. We don't spend in glamour. I enter.
Okay.
I assume there's probably a receptionist or something there.
Yeah, there's like an office off to the side, off to the left.
I go in the office and inquire about the PhD program office.
Oh, yes, it's just through there. Don't you know?
Thank you.
You don't have a doctorate?
I have doctorates, just not from this one. This is the medical one, psychology. I've gone to other schools and gotten doctorates. Mm-hmm. This is my now that I have money. You're not even here. Get lost.
Get out of here. Okay.
I enter the psychology room.
Yeah, you come in. You come into this room. There's a man sitting here. He's old. He's probably like 70.
Please be the same guy.
He'll come back. Don't worry.
I'm sure he will. He'll probably be the villain.
And this guy's sitting at his desk, and he says, "Oh, come on in, sit down. We'll have a chat."
I'm Dr. Hippocampus, here for my dissertation in psychology. Or to present my dissertation.
Oh, you've prepared a dissertation.
Yes.
I think that we'll just hand you a degree for your dissertation.
No, that's why I prepared the dissertation.
Right. Let's see.
I show him my papers, like, forwarding in, and then I present him my tome.
The book that you wrote.
It is called Aggression and Neurological Transmitters That Govern the Desire to Act.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. So this guy takes your book. He reads your abstract, and he sets it down, and he says, "This will have to be submitted to review."
I'm very well aware of review.
Yeah. He says, "Where can we contact you, Mr. Hippocampus?"
Currently, I am in the lower town.
Yeah.
I've had difficulty getting up here. It has not been easy.
It's not the most accessible place, no.
Yes. I've been staying at, what do we call that? Our HQ. I
Chaz's place.
It's got an address.
I give him the address. I'm currently staying at this inn.
Okay.
That I purchased a room at. Hopefully I will be able to come here soon.
All right. He sort of like takes your book and he grabs some sheets of paper and he scribbles on them some sort of shorthand, doctor scratch.
I understand perfectly.
He slaps it on. He slaps it on your book. He hands it. He gets up out of his chair really slowly, and he scrabbles back towards the front office, and he hands it to like the person that you were talking to, who seems to be like a secretary. And then he goes and shuffles back, scooches past you, sits back down in his desk. He says, "It'll take quite a while to review this, young man."
I'm well aware. I'm not super young either.
He's also 70.
I have multiple PhDs. I'm not a young kid.
This guy's like twice as old as you.
I realize that.
How old is your character?
I never gave him an age.
Oh,
really.
Are you human?
I'm half elf.
Oh, so you could probably be like
70.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You still look young.
Yeah, I look young. I'd like to also inquire.
Yes.
After this dissertation is done, I'd like to I've taken an interest in your magical surgery division.
Oh.
The mind blade wing.
Yes, the telekinetic medical surgery division. I've heard it's quite prestigious.
Yes, our transplants and regenerations are one of a kind.
I'm
Looking for my 6th PhD.
yes, I'm looking for like my 7th PhD.
Well, if you'd like to enroll, you need not wait for this dissertation to be reviewed.
Ah, yes.
Merely go and talk to my secretary, points with a shaky old hand, and request enrollment form 7B.
I go and request enrollment form 7B.
Good day.
Thank you. Good sir.
You get this enrollment form. It is the smallest possible, and it is the better part of like 100 pages long. And you reckon it'll probably take you an afternoon to read through this thing and fill it out.
Okay, I do that.
You're gonna just sit here for the rest of the day?
Yes.
Okay.
This is his purpose.
Alright, yeah, it'll take you probably 4 hours to do.
This is Dr. Hippocampus' will to live.
Okay.
The mind.
Zool.
Yep.
Where were you going?
I was going to the sect to see pretty much the building that I guess worship is probably the best word I can use for the Great Elven Court.
Okay. So, this building is also magnificent and clean and different from the other buildings. It sort of has this like high magic plus natural vibe to it. And you know, the doors seem to just be like alive with vines and leaves and plant life. The windows are also just sort of like breeze windows, right? They're like breezeways, and all the air is allowed to just move in, and the ceiling of this building is like leaves and canopy, and it all rustles and sways very elegantly and softly, like a soft breeze on a spring day.
So I walk in, and let me just do a quick perception check, just to see if I see anything interesting.
Bob Robin coming out.
That's okay.
That's
P for perception.
yeah, 21.
Okay, you take a look around. You see the canopy. You see the elegance, and you can see elves, tons of them, moving around.
More recruits.
Yeah, there's probably 30 or 40 dudes in here.
Okay, not that many dudes.
So I turn to Melf and I say, so this is who I pray to, the Great Elven Court. Now, I don't know if you know the stories of this court, but what ended up happening is long ago they
Melf is sleeping.
they helped out elves, and what they did is
Elf is an elf, you know.
well,
That's the best part of this. No, keep going. It's perfectly in character with you to just tell him.
I don't know if he knows or not, so I just say the Great Elven Court helped out with pretty much behind the scenes and what other elves needed, especially back in my homeland called Pathamel. They helped out people in the other elves in the background, but they didn't always give everybody what they wanted. Well, they gave them what they wanted, but not in the way they always dreamed of. But the main thing is that, one, they were never bad towards other races. Two, they did their best to help out elves. And this is what I'm doing for you. I'm helping you out, trying to get you out of that other job you didn't like.
Really tooting his own horn there.
What?
Really tooting his own horn there.
After we're done with this job, if you do not want to work for me anymore, you are free to leave and you can find another job. I will even give you a little bonus on the way. However, if you feel like worshiping this,
The court.
this court, you can help me help other elves, and then from there help other races. Our job, or what we want to do, is help the races. That way, they don't interfere with us, the elves, and it's kind of more along the lines of preventive maintenance, helping them to not hurt us. Plus, they only live for a maximum of a couple, 100 years, most of them, except for half elves. So it's pretty much, even though they only live very small lives, our goal is to make sure that those small lives don't have big consequences towards us. And I kind of go into this speech and show him the great elven court and explain to him the reasons why I helped them out.
Okay. As you just as you finish your lecture, before Melf has a chance to say anything, another elf with very magnificent black hair, very shiny. It's almost shiny enough to see your reflection somehow.
Well, I don't know if you know, but my hair is red and poofy.
Okay.
Afro.
This guy comes like swiftly.
That completely changes my image of you.
Yeah, it really does for me too.
This guy swiftly glides up to you two, and he looks at you, and he darts his eyes towards Melf. He says, "Melf, you've returned."
Oh God!
I cannot believe this. You've made it back here. Where have you been? It's been so long. Melf turns and he graciously bows towards this man. He says, "Yes, good father. I've been away for such a long time. I've been exploring the depths below, and I have learned many things.
Oh my God!
But this kind gentleman," he points to you, "has shown me back up here a path that I would not have been able to take on my own. It was a little bit sharp.
It was a stripper
Daggers fall out of both of them.
It was cut close, pretty close there. But he's brought me back here, and I am forever grateful to him. Now, good father, I have many things to share with you about the world below, about the people I have seen, in the lives I've encountered. Thanks to Zool, I can finally, after all these years, report them. You see, the elevators, they were not sending my messages, I suspect. Man, gracious in his form. He's got his fingers up in the air. Hello. He says, "Yes, Mel, but please, grab some lembas. You look hungry." Ooh, swift one.
I turned this holy man into a stripper.
Zool, is that your name? The magnificent elf calls to you.
My name is Zool Goro.
Did you know that Melf was a priest of the High Court?
I did not. After I just went to a 5-minute explanation of how I worship.
Well, it would have been quite rude to interrupt you.
I'm afraid I still need enough.
Over in the corner, someone's giving a lecture to someone else on the same exact thing. And it's just like something that they've heard 100 times before. Like, yeah, it's quite rude to interrupt.
I know Melf, and now I know Melf works here. Was here for a while. However, I still need Melf's help for the next 24 hours. After that, he is free to come back. However, I do need his help.
Seems like you ask Melf that.
I was gonna say.
Yes, Melf is free to come and go as he pleases.
This is my
This is very important. I'm going to talk to Melf some more. But I do need his help, especially since Melf is carrying all my gear.
You turned this breast into a fucking horse.
Yeah, did I mention that this really important person to you is also my fucking mule?
I get that he's important here, but he's my mule. Do you understand?
Do you have an
I would have to
life
carry.
use?
You understand? I would have to carry all this myself if I didn't have him.
I can have to move
I can't. I don't have the strength for it.
half speed. I technically have a heavy load that can carry all this stuff, but then I'd be moving at 20 feet per turn. Fuck that!
I need him.
I can't carry any more than a light.
Christ!
We have the same strength. We're literally carrying the same amount of gear, which is not much.
Is that what you need him for? Carrying a mule for the next day?
No. I need him because we're currently helping out some friends, and in order to pass off my disguise,
I know, right? Jesus Christ!
Holy smokes!
In order to pass off my disguise and be able to help others,
Mel's got it into some crazy shit.
Look, Melf is my cock slave by design.
I'm trying to focus here.
Just please stand right there for a moment. He swiftly glides away from you, and then he returns moments later, and he's got this sort of elegant corded sling bag.
Oh, you worthless.
And he says,
He's rewarded for this.
if you could relinquish Melf from your services for the day so he could share his experiences with me, I'd gladly trade you this bag.
I have...
Do it. Just do it.
Oh my god, do it! I know what it is, but my character doesn't know what it is. I have to say, that would be very gracious. However, I have many bags.
This bag is like no other.
Take the bag.
I want to take the bag. Just give me a minute.
You might not get a chance if you keep talking.
Fine. I say,
Thank you, good sir.
please don't
report
report me. I'll take the bag. In exchange, I don't need Melf's help anymore. If this bag is what I think it is.
I'm gonna miss Melf.
This bag is everything and more. He hands it to you. It's remarkably light.
It's because it's empty.
It's immaculate.
It's also immaculate.
God damn it.
I forgot to mention that. I'm going to describe a lot of immaculate things later on in this adventure. Store all your things. Your other bags, the things in the bags, they can all go in this bag. It's wonderful.
It's a bag in a bag in a bag.
That's right.
I'm very gracious, and that would be awesome. I do not need Melf's help anymore.
Take the things off Melf.
I'm going to take my stuff from Melf.
Takes off
because I
his
still
collar.
need it.
His leash, his whips. The slave driver gets rewarded.
And
Ball
then
gag.
and then I will pay Melf my bonus I promised him, and that'll be it.
Okay. As a passing note, the elegant man, the elegant elf, he says, "Just don't put anything that's alive in it."
I don't plan on it.
Very good.
That's Melf in it.
So
runs over, puts him in the way.
I go up to Melf and I give him my bonus of. Once I can find my gold.
I'm really sad Melf's no longer in our lives.
I'm gonna give him. Let's call that 5 gold.
Sure.
In Hightown, that's probably 2 pennies.
Well, I mean,
Whatever.
He hasn't been in Hightown in a long time.
He's a slave, remember?
I give him 5 gold, and I take, and then since I have to get back,
Here's 5 gold. Could you spare 5 gold?
Actually, what time is it now? Do I have enough time to sit there and pray for a little bit and then head back?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't I do that? I put all my stuff, which Melf had, into the bag.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm surprised about how light it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go to some place and I pray in the church. Not church, exactly. What do you want to call it? The building.
The septum?
Okay.
Septum.
It doesn't behave like a bag of holding.
Oh.
One, because a bag of holding is much heavier than this bag. This bag weighs 1 pound
Okay.
and can hold 100 pounds worth of things.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it is limited in space. Like, you can't put like a 100-pound, I don't know, boulder in it.
Okay.
But like, most things fit in it.
It'd be a very light boulder.
What is it called, anyways? Like, what?
A bag of 100-pound holding.
I guess so.
Yeah, you can call it that.
The satchel of carrying?
Yeah, that's fine. It is a little satchel, essentially.
Yeah, I like that satchel. And then I pray to the court.
Pray for a new slave.
I pray in hopes to for everything to go well today. And then I get all my spells already there and ready to go. So I guess I do some extra praying. And then I head back when it's time to meet there by 4. Even though we agreed on 5, I want to be there an hour early. Back at the spot where we had to be.
Okay.
Yep.
It's going to be a little while before we hear back from you then.
Yep.
Okay. Meanwhile, the tour leaves the library, and they begin heading across the quad once again towards the mage college. The docent, so to speak, is still hovering along. He says, "Oh, the students quite enjoy this lawn.
Oh my god.
They come out here and play and study and do all manner of cavorting.
What time is it?
It's good fun for the weekend."
Cavorting.
What time is it?
It's about 10.
Oh, it's still 10 o'clock?
We have 2 more hours of this. Don't you worry.
Yeah, it's a 3
Oh,
hour
no.
show.
I asked him where the King Solomon's temple is, the ruins.
Please hold all questions to the end.
That is the answer you would get.
Oh my god.
And he floats along towards the mage college, and he opens up these great big doors, and you wind up in a cafeteria. And there's all sorts of food and stuff moving around, appearing and disappearing. Feasts of heroes. Heroes feasts, you could say.
This is hero feast.
and kids are eating breakfast in here. Kids of all
At
ages,
10.
I should say, because it's not just for youths. There were mature teachers are in here, older students, grad students. It's all kinds. Lots of people are in here. This is probably the most busy room you've ever seen up here. This proctor goes on, and he's giving more and more boring speeches about how, 2,000 years ago, this used to be the home of so-and-so, and twice removed cousin of the Duke Earl of Sandwich. Now, it's a lot of gesturing and
lame puns and jokes.
Right. As you realize, everything in here is quite immaculate. Now,
Yeah,
I'm gonna stealthily get a bag and start putting food into it.
Sure.
I see this going on. I'm just not saying anything like, "Oh, he's gonna get us all killed."
You should have made your slave do it.
It's for Taza.
Aw,
The guy who's standing in there stops his whatever the hell he was talking about. He glares at you and he says, "There will be plenty of time to eat later."
Oh, I didn't know we'd have time. I don't put the food back.
Right. And he begins to move along, and in the next place you guys get taken to is like this wing of classrooms, and there are classes in session. It's Friday. And he starts opening up doors. You guys don't go in, but you go past them as he opens and closes doors with the spell open close. And you go past like the potions class, and you go past like dueling class, and you go past conjurations, and you go past all these other abjuration class, and each school has its own classroom right now.
I think I would have snagged a muffin while I was in there. I feel like we both have a casual disregard.
Yeah, there's like the continental breakfast itself.
Do you stop at the dueling and conjurations class to speak with?
No, I'm meeting with him at the Grand.
Right.
And you begin to familiarize yourself with the school. Before too long, you guys sort of make it to the end of the building, and then you turn around and start heading back the other way, and you start passing all sorts of new classrooms. it's like, oh, there's the violin class, and every conceivable thing that you could think of seems to have a room in here. Like, no matter how many doors he opens up, there's always something else beyond the door. And you're starting to realize that space in here doesn't have any value. Like, whatever was originally part of this building is definitely gone, and each room can go anywhere. And before too long, before you even realize it, because this is kind of just so amazing, because I'm so clever.
The hands.
Before too long, he says, "Come to the Grand Library." Not the Grand Library, we were there earlier, remember? There's a seminar. Stella Stargazer will be presenting her.
There's a long pause and Havoc just starts blushing. He's like, what?
What is she
presenting?
Her thesis.
Oh, thank God.
Son goes up, steps up on stage. Oh!
And you guys go and you sit down at this thesis seminar, and she's giving this speech about interplanetary traveling and interdimensional traveling. And she presents this book with an impossibly long title, with impossibly many authors, and she says, "Oh, it's quite a fine book. You should read it." Her dialect is quite elegant, but it's very relatable. It's like human. She's not speaking in big words, with the exception of the title of the book. And her seminar is compelling. Suddenly this concept of being in two places at once feels real, despite, I don't know, how magically impossible it is.
I'm gonna do a perception check to see if I can recognize Etner in the room, or if there's like a tag that says Etner on it, or he'd be sitting at a table with like a little nameplate.
Okay. He's sitting at a table with a little nameplate. Cool. So behind Stella is like this panel, and among the panel is a big empty seat that's empty. Mm-hmm. A big, elegant seat that's empty. That's what I meant to say.
Does it look
immaculate?
familiar to him?
It is immaculate.
Does it look familiar, like the one he was sitting in?
No.
Oh my God!
That's my
in the
seat.
crate.
I farted in that seat.
But the seats beside it look like the seat that you sat in.
Oh, okay.
But this big seat is different. It's very unique looking.
I have another thing I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna take out a little bit of rope. I'm gonna cut it real stealthily, so I can wrap it around my neck, and then I'm gonna turn my my bottle of fancy goo and make it into a necklace that is gonna hang on my chest. A fancy necklace.
With just like some hemp rope.
I thought he was gonna hang himself.
I'm gonna make it thin and braid it maybe.
Or you could just put it under your shirt.
Is this library like a normal
library,
or is this another one of those floating
Normally I
around
carry
crap
twine, but I'm
things?
in a suit.
The Grand Library is not actually a library at all.
It's just
a big conference room. Yeah.
Because people here don't name things properly. Did I say that out loud? Oops.
That's what I'm mad about.
I'm mad about the naming conventions.
And
I'm angry about elves.
and up on that big desk, you see all sorts of like tenured professors, and among them, sitting at the very end of the table, is Etner Duodwarf.
Is he a dwarf?
No, he's a man.
Okay.
And he looks older than sin. This dude looks like he's probably 110 years old.
And he was your
What race is
roommate?
he?
Yeah,
Human?
Is he human?
he's a human.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's older than
I'm gonna
Sid.
stealthily try to make my way over to his side of the room, just so I'm over there.
And I stomp along behind him, setting up sparks and gouging the floor.
Could you try to make a stealth check?
No!
So you guys get up in the middle of this speech.
Oh, I thought everybody was standing.
No, it's like a big sitting room.
Oh, okay. So I don't take that.
I'm knocking over chairs and pushing people out of the way. Excuse me. Stepping on people's feet.
No, we'll do that. We'll do that once everybody stands
This
up.
is the worst infiltration in the world.
Well, I thought this was like a standing thing where everybody was like talking and then the person went up and did a speech.
No, it's like a everyone's sitting down and
Okay.
listening to this person.
Then I whisper to Sam. I whisper to Havoc. Once everybody stands up to clap, let's make our way over to Gwen.
No, I like the plan before.
Alright.
Stealthily. Do you have socks on?
The word of the day is stealthful.
Yeah, I've got a -2 to stealth at the moment because I'm not wearing armor.
Yeah, because remember I left the Grand Library and I told him to send me the books through a servant. But
Okay.
I just followed the tour. Well, and I promised what's-her-face I'd be here, so...
Yes.
Maybe she likes you.
Maybe.
So before,
She finds me intriguing.
after about like 2 hours of this speech on
Oh my god, 2 hours.
on teleportation.
I'm audibly yawning.
Yeah.
Throwing my muffin wrapper.
Just flicking a piece of the muffin at people in the audience.
You are turning it into a game? I bet I could hit this.
When they turn around, you just like threaten them. Like,
Yeah, that's right, bitch.
People get up and they applaud, and you see your moment. You see your chance to get up to talk to Etner.
so I step up and slip through the crowd towards Etner's side.
And I bowl after him.
You just push everybody and step on everybody.
This isn't like a super huge room. You can get over there in about 5 seconds.
Okay. All right. So does it appear that people are starting to like separate up and mill about afterwards?
Yeah, like the floating trays of like muffins and dishes and vodka come in.
I get a few more muffins. I just eat the tops and throw the rest on the ground.
Stomp on it.
As you do that, like servants come along and sweep it up like magic servants.
I'm having a great time.
Or a servant. You're doing
I thought this was going to be terrible. I thought people were going to be treating me like a servant. No, I can just throw muffins wherever I like. I take one of the vodka bottles and just pour it out. I'm like, yeah.
You approach Etner.
Yep. And I is he standing like normally?
He's sitting down at his chair.
Okay. So
He's old. This dude's old.
Yeah. So I get up close to him and I whisper into his ear, "We need to talk."
Hot damn!
Yes, hard.
Oh!
Hello.
That's my blind spot. You can't come up on that side. I've been telling to put me on that side of the table so that way people couldn't come up on this side, but they keep not moving me.
I hold out my hand.
Yes. Despite his age, he seems to be like really fit. Yeah, like he's got a good grip.
My name is Seamus Young.
Seamus Young.
Yes.
Seamus Young.
Young.
I never forget a name.
I'd like to speak to you. I heard you were the professor of dueling.
Sorry, say that into this ear.
I heard you were the professor of dueling.
Yes, I am, Seamus Young. I never forget a name.
See, I hope so, because I'd like to talk to you in private about somebody. Maybe
Yes.
a classmate.
He springs to his feet, light as a feather, and he looks around. Come with me. Come along. And he grabs your hand. Your servant, the one spilling vodka everywhere.
I look up.
Shit, he spotted me.
You should train him better.
I toss the bottle over my shoulder surreptitiously and follow after.
He scurries along and he grabs your hand and he says, "What about those two that came with you? The bird and the fool."
The bird has other things to do, and the fool is accurately described.
They don't want to come?
Post.
Let's go. He teleports.
Woo!
I can't teleport.
He's grabbing you with you.
Oh.
He's got you.
What about me?
He's got you too.
Okay.
The fool. I love it.
And you appear in his office a moment later.
Killed me.
You and Havoc are sitting down in chairs, and he's at his desk. And he sits down, and he gets back up.
He's on Adderall for sure.
Holy shit. It's been on Adderall
Let me show
for
you
90
something.
years.
He goes and grabs a book out of this like sliding like door bookshelf, And he brings it down and he sets it down and he flips it and it's like this calendar. Ski. And he, flips through this calendar and then he flips it and turns it towards you. He says, "What's your name?" Seamus Young.
Seamus.
I never forget a name.
Was I supposed to make a fake name?
I'm using my real one, so I don't know why you would.
Right.
So my name is Atrocity.
Ooh.
And never forget a name.
It's
He's
a
a
proper
foreign-
hobgoblin name, but
He's a foreign exchange servant.
Right. Atrocity. I never forget a name.
He's a foreign exchange servant. Don't worry too much.
Right. We've heard of that before.
Armageddon is better. My name's Armageddon. 7 wisdom.
What did you want to talk about? I don't have much time. Look at this date.
You had a
Today's date. It's busy.
You had a classmate. His name was Atlas Blue.
Do we need a fake name for him?
There's a room.
He was a real man.
I never forget a name.
He was your college roommate.
I know.
He has realized he accidentally left something inside of his dorm.
Oh.
And he'd like for us to retrieve it.
Yeah.
And so we were hoping if you'd be able to tell us about it. Because it's inside of his chest.
Atlas is in town?
Of a sort.
Yes.
Where is he?
We can't tell you that.
He stays with us.
Which is not going to be told to him.
They've been looking for Atlas for a long time.
I'm sure they have. We've heard stories. Which is why we're coming to you in private. And not in front of Floats McGee over there.
Atlas tried to kill me.
I heard. I also heard it was water under the bridge.
Yeah, he might tell this story that way. But I remember it quite differently.
Well, he is kind of a dick.
Yes, he is.
Look. We can help you with something if you need it. We just want information. Nothing more.
I need all the help I can get. Seamus Young.
Seamus Young.
Apocalypse.
Yes. Oh shit, Apocalypse is so good. Go with Apocalypse.
He is Apocalypse now.
I'm a yeah.
He gets up, takes his calendar, puts it away, grabs another book. He pulls that one out, he flips it open to a page, he slides that towards you. Can you read this language?
What language is it?
I don't know.
No. I'm not asking you. I'm trying to read languages. What language is on the page?
It's undercommon.
You know what? I don't actually know that one. So I ask him, what language is that?
I don't know. He puts it away. Right. I've got one more thing to show you.
Don't you know comprehend language?
Didn't you have something to ask me?
Yes.
I never forget a name.
We need to get inside of his chest, and you have done that before.
No, I haven't.
The Ifriti.
I just sat down on it once.
Oh.
That was a mistake.
How did you get away from not getting killed by the Ifriti?
He pulls up his shirt and he's got like this wicked like burn scar through his chest.
That's better than death.
Oh, you don't even know. I was dead.
He was brought back.
So what are you showing him? You brought out another book and it's on the table. Pay attention. It's just...
What were you asking me?
We need to retrieve the chest without triggering the Ifriti somehow.
No, you can't.
How would we defeat the Ifriti once we trigger it?
Do you have a sword?
No, but I've got sword-like stuff.
Do you have a magic sword?
I have a magic blade.
I have a magic whip. I just pull that out at this point.
You might have a sword, but it's not magic.
No, but I got other stuff.
Also, we know somebody
make
who
his spell magic.
really specifically has a magic sword. He likes to tell people about it.
I think he has
I got
two.
2.
It's not, no, I don't think Keen is magic.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It wasn't a
It
plus
counts as
one
It
magic.
counts as magic.
I have a magic sling. Everyone's got something.
And the funny part is I can put magic on any other weapon I want. I can make all weapons I carry magical.
Would you happen to know its name?
Yeah, Freddy?
Yeah, you never forget one.
You're right. I never forget a name. Well, I haven't heard its name.
You never told me.
I was dead.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, haha, you've been defeated by Junkabong.
No.
There was no death camp?
He killed me. And then a few moments later, I was brought back to life. And the genie was gone.
Interesting. What is it you were looking for? It seems like you're very intently looking through tomes or something.
Never forget a name.
One particular tome that's like flat with like a weird glowing page on it.
It looks like nothing to me.
What? Oh, this.
For the viewers out there, that's a computer.
This is twice.
What's he got in his office?
Oh, okay.
Well, no, that's like a thing.
Books he can't read.
I'm looking around his office with a 19.
Okay, so you just start like you get up out of your seat and you start wandering around this guy's office.
Yeah.
He almost doesn't. He doesn't care. Like this dude's been around for such a long time.
Yeah, and I have Apocalypse.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Good God.
I really like the not being able to decide on his name.
I'd like for him just to say your name different every time, but everyone else's name, sharpens attack. Nothing, I'm just trying to move it
Give
past.
a pause.
All right.
Mark it.
No. I never forget a name.
You ever read it?
He once again gets up and goes for his books. He seems to just keep pulling books out and putting books away. And as you sort of move around his office, this dude's got all sorts of weird shit in here. Most of it seems to be things that he's collected from places that he's been. You know, he's got like skulls and all sorts of ornaments and bits and bobs. But the most spectacular thing that you spot, and you spot it quite immediately, he's got a fragment of the throne, of the adamant throne.
I'm not going to touch it.
and it's like essentially just like in a pile of other crap. He almost doesn't realize what it is, but he's got one, and he's shuffling through.
Do I recognize the fragment while I'm following Havoc with my eyes?
I'll indicate it.
If you indicate it, and yeah, you see it. And he's got one.
Okay. While Etner is searching, I put my hand on his desk and I say, Etner, I have a question for you. Have you ever heard of a group of people using chunks of the adamant throne to open up rifts?
Adamant throne?
Adamant throne.
Never heard of it.
Is this chunk mundane, or does it have scroll like inscribed arcane symbols in it? Like the last one I saw before
It's got
fell unconscious.
Yeah, it's got symbols in it.
Then I'll give you a piece of information for free.
Yes?
Be careful about that.
What?
People might come after you.
Does he look in a random direction?
Yeah.
When he says what? In that time, I'm going to cough really loudly and whip, because I can with improved whip mastery, I can grab small items with my whip. So I whip it over to
catch it.
Victus to catch it. Just
you want me to roll to catch it or just catch it?
Make a whip check.
Like an attack or like just a
yeah. Wait, what's the feat? You just do it?
I just do it.
It's an action?
Yeah.
Okay, it's done.
Cool. I could also use it as a grappling hook.
You should in this little room. You
like I cough to try and mask it. It's like a huge crack.
He's got his deaf side too. He doesn't quite hear that. Never heard of a stone. I found it! He pulls out this book.
I use a sleight of hand check to hide the stone inside of my person.
Okay.
He's blind on that
Inside
side. His first response is to shove it up there.
I hide it on my person.
Nature's bag of holding.
the smuggler's hole.
Oh, God. Prison wall.
He pulls out this big tome and he sets it down. This is my diary from freshman year when I was roommates with Atlas. Ooh, he was quite a funny man. quite an asshole. He turns it towards you and opens it up towards the page, and he says, "This was the day in question, the one that you're asking about, the one where I died. I'm still paying off that bill, you know."
Really?
Resurrections are expensive.
Aren't they only 10,000 gold?
I don't know.
Oh, you guys made that in like an hour.
What? No. I'm a teacher.
Yes. Teachers don't make any money.
Well, he's a professor. He
You're a
makes more.
tenured professor. That's right.
Are you coming to dueling class today?
Yeah, why not?
There's no dueling class today.
Are you
Ask
reading
him the
from
reason.
I guess that's the reason not.
You were saying something about a tome?
A tome?
Yes, the one on your desk right now.
The day that I died.
Yes.
It's this day. In my diary.
What is this? Could you mind if I read?
Go for it.
Alright, I pulled the tome over to my side and I start reading.
You don't understand this language.
Do I understand this language?
You know Undercommon?
No.
I cast. Can comprehend language work?
Yes.
Okay, I cast comprehend language.
Okay. So you can read it. I knew you were lying to me, Victus. I mean, not Victus. I never forget a name.
Was that
Angus Young?
Was that a canon mess-up?
Was it?
That's a good question to ask.
I certainly don't know. I don't think Havoc knows either. But
Wizards, man.
Does the headmaster know that what we're trying to do?
oh, of course he knows.
Great.
He's been scrying on old Atlas for the past 3 weeks. How long have you guys been here?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
18 days?
How long has he known, and why hasn't he tried to stop
We haven't
us?
spent a lot of time with Atlas recently.
Well, those things do belong to Atlas. He can just come and get them.
Oh.
No.
Could we speak to the headmaster?
No.
Why not?
He's not here.
But could we arrange a meeting with him to speak to him?
Until you're level 20!
You could arrange a meeting. I could arrange a meeting.
Could you arrange a meeting for us, and then we'll meet with you through him?
He goes over to his bookshelf and he pulls out another book. This one quite recent, quite new. And he flips it open. and mind you that the tome that he pulled out at the beginning, which was like his calendar for today, was old and ragged.
Mm-hmm.
Like he filled it out years ago. And this one is new. And he sets it down and
I'd like to see if they have any drinks with squee on the...
Right. And he sets it down and he says, how about 27 years from now?
No,
That might be a little
we were
long.
thinking in a time frame of probably hours to weeks.
How about 27 half days?
What?
How about sometime this month?
Oh, you want to speak with him that soon?
Yes.
Well, I did hear him talk about you two. You and you. And
Did
the
stop
bird?
the mountain from exploding.
The mountain.
Mm.
I never forget a name.
At the very least, we should deserve some sort of conversation around that.
Yes, he wants to speak with you.
Seeing as there are magic people who caused it to happen in the first place.
The wizards caused the freezing, and someone else
With magic.
There was one wizard.
caused the melting.
There was only one
We
wizard that
reversed
caused
the melting, which suggests that we're aligned with the headmaster, and I'm sure he would like to speak to us about the matter.
Mm-hmm. Though we do know that it requires a large amount of magical energy to start a rift with one of the stones, which means somebody has a large amount of magic and used it recently.
And how are all these stones just being handed out willy-nilly?
Yeah, this seems like a very small throne to have like 4 pieces now that we've had access to.
It's huge.
4 pieces? How come I don't have one?
I don't know.
Right. Now, the headmaster wants to speak with you. He's sending me a message right now. No. Yes. Again, despite being older than dust, this dude's really spry. Yeah, he's like bouncing around his office. He's got various bits and bobs, and he's moving these books around. And he comes back. He says, "Yes, I hear him.
Do you?
No. But I can send him a message.
Okay.
He reaches over and grabs his spell book. This tome is sufficiently thick. It's thick.
Yeah.
And he opens it up.
Thick with 3 Ks.
Wait.
Yes.
And he
We're not back at the strip.
It is fantasy.
and he starts beginning his incantation of a spell, and he waves his hands in the air, and you can see him like writing something, and then he just sort of like swipes right.
And you hear a modern days we used to swipe left.
He'll get that momentarily.
You've got mail.
Yes, he does want me to do it. Swipes right again, sends off his other message.
It's a Minority Report.
Well, okay, thanks.
Hold on.
Does the diary? I'm
You'd
not
have to make a
sure,
painting of it.
He never forgets a picture
You
of
did a
it.
dick scry.
Don't tell Alice. Alice can't know of this meeting.
Why not?
That's fair.
I know Atlas hates the headmaster. Would you happen to know why?
The headmaster kicked him out of school.
I assume so.
For what? What does
Did
the
I
diary
know
say?
that? Did Havoc know that?
It's in front of you and you can read it now.
It was implied.
It was implied.
Because I thought we had like that moment when I was talking about the yak with him.
It was implied. He didn't say I was kicked out of school by the headmaster, but you got it.
It's been the same headmaster for the past 50 years?
He's been the headmaster for much longer than that. Okay. Longer than I've been alive.
Just making sure.
Oh yes, the headmaster kicked him out some time ago. Said it was because he couldn't pay his bills.
Cheap bastard.
That wasn't why.
No.
That wasn't why.
So how soon is this meeting with the headmaster?
3 days.
Okay.
Just 3.
Well, that's better than 27 years or whatever it was.
I do have one minor request.
Sunday night.
When we go in to get the tome, could you guys open the front door? We can get into the main door. But
What tome?
the name of tome or whatever. The chest.
Oh.
Could you just send a servant down to open up the front door? I don't think the key opens the front door, and I just want to be sure.
What door?
The door to the dorm.
Oh. The dorm is accessible to those who look for it.
I really hate wizards.
I could just break the lock, but like I'd prefer a better.
There's no lock.
Oh, really?
There's no key.
I'm gonna walk
That's
3
just
times
what you
past the
see.
blank wall, thinking to myself, I need Alice.
Now you need to run through the solid wall. You have to believe.
But there is an archway. Maybe you've heard of one of these. It quizzes your mind. It wants to know what your intentions are. Then it'll let you in.
Fortunately, I have no negative intentions.
Good.
This is the first time we can all say that. We're like, yeah, we're bringing you to help our friend.
Okay.
Quite a lot of danger to
If you don't
ourselves.
tell it the truth, though, it'll kick you out. It won't let you in.
That's fine.
Let's
Let me at it.
see if we can't gather other people. Speaking of other people,
Can he read the diary that he's now did speak
While
on?
they were doing
I
that,
really-
I was trying to hit
It's
on
No, all it said was that.
Stellar Starcrest and telling her about my partial ownership and how I'm a new businessman.
Oh, what's your business?
Entertainment.
Entertainment.
Wait, what?
You stop by sometime.
Oh
It's in the low town, is it?
Well, yeah, it's up and coming.
No.
Is that
no! Dude!
No,
The charisma
No, okay.
storm.
I'm telling you, it's only for this job that the charisma's good. Anything else?
if you think that charisma's good, you've got a problem.
I didn't actually expect to ever need charisma
Hey,
in this
you want to
character.
come to my strip
Totally
club?
blew my-
Sure.
It's up and coming. In
I'm
the
so
soaps.
charismatic.
But yeah, no, I'm done. I'm good.
No.
That's it. I was just in on her while waiting for them to get done doing what they're doing.
Did you say I was just hitting on her while I was waiting for the...
She's not interested.
You
You get it. You pick it up. You pick up the vibe right away.
If only life was that easy.
Is she interested in me?
Natural 20, yes.
You want to talk to my brother?
That beak dough.
Yeah, the whole time that Volley's talking to her, she's just looking at you, like really, just sketching you into her brain.
Look at those feathers.
You can almost see like in her
plumage.
eyes.
Molting feathers.
like she picks up one of your molted feathers and like presses it into a book.
She whispers into your ear.
I heard you only have a glowing gun.
Why?
Anyways.
After a little while of being in his room, you read this diary, and you're shifting through it, and it's just like all of the horrible things that Atlas has done to him. This one time Atlas knocked me out with color spray and drew dicks on my face, and just like everything you can think of.
He didn't even wait for me to pass out. He just color sprayed it and drew right on.
My battery's dying, so I gotta get a battery check.
Mark it.
Or we could roleplay amongst our own characters.
Well, I'm waiting for him to bring us all back together.
How do you feel?
Get back on the main plot line here.
I just want to talk to that priest one, or whatever you want to call it.
Well,
Listen, you're not getting a new slave.
I think this is
God
really
damn.
We're gonna have a
awkward.
long
I'm never gonna
conversation
have a
about
higher
your
person
definitions
do
of
that into me again.
That's very like white man's bird style. Look at us. Free these people of their mortal coil. Now give me all of your money.
I even gave him a bonus.
I roll better on yours.
Did he want the job in the first place?
He wanted anything except for
You took his job away.
he didn't want his job.
Don't worry, young one. I have taken the job that you only had because you needed money. Now you have to work for me. And do whatever I want you to do.
He wanted out. I got him a way out.
I can't believe I had a priest working for me in a strip joint.
So I'm assuming that Stella might be an extremely valuable contact for us.
Sure.
So I try to exchange contact information with her.
Okay.
You
Natural
squaw,
20,
come on.
man. Huh.
You hand her your business card.
She hands you a pen
Okay.
and says, "Are you familiar with these pens?
No, I've never
Scribbling
seen them.
pens. They're quite fun."
Wow, oh my god.
What?
She's gonna draw her nudes for you, and the pen is gonna draw them for you. Your hand.
Oh my god.
Just write down your message,
Okay.
and then I'll see it.
Anywhere?
Anywhere.
At any time?
No.
Okay.
Depending on which plane you are on.
Ah.
Time and space move differently on different planes.
It's falling under dimensions.
Yes. Dimensions. I've got a lot of dimension. This character. Oh.
Scribbling pen.
Out of my mind.
Will it ever run out of ink?
It doesn't have ink.
It's magic.
Can I see the message that I write before it?
She wants to reread her message before she hits send.
Just
Just in case.
Yes, you can erase messages before you write them, before you send them.
I was just curious how it worked.
You scribble it down anywhere you're standing, anywhere you're sitting. Send the message.
Amazing.
Swipe right.
What if you wanted to send one back?
I have another pen.
Oh, fabulous. Okay, wonderful.
You see, your pen has these 3 sigils on it, and my pen can speak to those 3 sigils.
Fascinating.
Yes.
It's immaculate.
Yes, it's immaculate.
I'm a little annoyed at this point that mine didn't go so well with this one, so I'm just like, come along, time to go.
You tried to talk to her about a strip club.
No, I didn't tell her it was a strip club. God!
She knows.
She can smell the glitter on her.
Glitter and cheap perfume.
Oh, that was her name, Glitter Dust.
Oh yeah,
It's glitter
because
dust.
it's a spell. Yeah.
Yeah. So before too long, you've lost sight of Victus and Havoc, but the tour sort of gets up and starts moving again, and they say, "Come along, we're going to go and have some lunch now."
It's only noon?
Oh no, it's beyond noon. It's like 3 in the afternoon.
I was didn't her talk
Yeah, her
over.
speech took a while.
So what I want to do is, if it's already 3, I want to talk to the priest one last time.
Okay.
And I want to say, is there any other elves underneath your service that are down in the lower town who are supposed to come back up here?
Yes,
lost
there's one.
messages with?
He was sent out down to the docks, working on the boats. I don't know if he's down there now or if he's going out on a vessel.
What is his name?
Don't offend people if you don't want to name them.
If you want,
Yeah.
don't be Melf number 2. I did look up some here.
Elf names?
Here, yeah. How about Leoven? Here you go. Here's a list of male names.
Too complicated, aren't they?
Leoven's on there, which is easy.
Damn rats.
Let's call him Vinris. I know that's a Y, but I like V. Vinris. He was sent down to mingle with the dock workers in the fishing folk. Those of the sea.
I really wish it was Greg.
I hate the sea so much. Alright, I will go try to look for him. If I send up other elves up here, will you be able to take care of them?
Oh, most certainly.
Okay. Vinris, down to the docks.
He's supposed to be recruiting people for me, and now he's taking my business away. I'm not liking this.
I'll be on my way.
Speaking of being on our way, I think we all stand up and...
Yeah.
Can you please?
Well, you two are still with Etner.
Yep.
But he starts to like fidget around now, and he says, "Oh, getting hungry. must be time for lunch."
Well, let's all go out of here together.
Yes. Come.
There's no door to this room. We have to teleport out.
We have to tell. You have to come. You have to take us.
There are doors. You just need to know where to look. There's a grandfather clock out in like the room, and he opens it up, and it's like you can see through this portal. The pendulum is still spinning, but beyond the pendulum is the dining room, or the
mess halls and
yeah. You guys went through there earlier, and I called it the right name.
Cafeteria.
I think I called it cafeteria.
Dining hall.
Yeah. He says, "Come along," and he squeezes through this thing like this. The pendulum like socks him in the gut when he squeezes through. This way!
I acrobatics my way through.
You make it.
And I will bend the pendulum.
That was quite rude.
Older than me.
You know bending.
Cast mending on it.
Yes.
And just like that, you rejoined the tour group. Griff, by this time, has finished reading his books. He's been in the library for like 5 hours. And also, Dr. Hippocampus has finished out his application. And,
oh man, you guys.
And you guys sort of serendipitously just joined back into the tour group. And the guy, the proctor who's floating up in the air still.
Oh my god.
He says, after this, we'll be settling in for the night. It's the early bird special, don't you know?
I suppose they'll give us some free time, and then... Yeah, well...
Alright, we should start collecting everybody.
We're all here.
We are literally all
you should all like sitting at the same table.
literally all here.
So I just stand up. We should collect everybody. Shit. Sit back down.
He's just sitting there. Oh no, I got it.
So do we know where the dorms are yet?
We do. Somebody has the key.
In the cafeteria, there's no knives.
What?
Yeah, they were all meant to be sent here.
Don't you have the key to the dorm?
You mean Atlas's room?
Yes.
No, he has
Griff
Griff
does.
Oh, Griff does.
He has the key
You
to
have
the
the key.
chest.
The chest.
You have the key to the
No,
dorm.
the chest wasn't locked.
The dorm is there for anyone who wants to
I
get
have a key
in.
to the chest.
I thought...
You have a key to the dorm.
You have the key to the dorm.
The chest you can
You
open.
have a key to his room. 600,071.
The chest opens fine. It just releases an asshole.
No.
Chest doesn't open.
Chest. He definitely
Chest is
said
locked.
chest.
Dr. Hippocampus goes up to one of the doorways and thinks about 600,071 and tries to open the door.
So you approach one of these doorways, and there are students coming through in and out of these doorways. And one of them, you notice there's like these two grand archways. One of them it has like a plinth above it, scribed in Draconic. Can you speak Draconic?
No.
Okay. And the other one has another plinth scribed in Draconic. And you can see these as well. And you can see Dr. Hippocampus approach one of them, and he's standing there thinking.
What does it say on it?
One of them says boys' dorm, and the other one says girls' dorm.
Which one is he standing?
Can I interpret the fact that one door has all girls coming out, one door has all guys coming out?
One door has girls and guys coming out of, and one door has only girls coming out of.
So I approach Dr. Hippocampus and say, "You're standing in front of the girls' door. The girls' door. The girls' door."
I'm clearly standing between the two doors.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, they're kind of next to each other.
I point. Boys' dorm.
You didn't have to be so obvious. You could just sit. I walk in that one.
Okay, yeah. So you get stopped though. Like this archway stops you from passing through, and you understand that what it wants you to tell it is what your intentions are, what you're trying to get out of coming through here.
I'm trying to enter room 600,071 to stay for the night.
That's true. We'll probably stay there all night.
We probably will stay the night.
And for the rest of your day.
It thinks you're lying.
I approach the door and I try walking through. And I say, "I'm trying to get into room 600,071 because my friend left some belongings there and we wish to bring them back to him."
It lets you through.
I go after him, and when I'm stopped, I say, "I'm here to fuck shit up if there's a scrap."
It lets you through.
I came to finish my dissertation and also get my friend's stuff.
It lets you through.
I repeat the same thing and follow.
You don't have a dissertation.
Yeah, you don't have a dissertation. It lets you through. Yeah, it lets everyone through.
I walk up and say, I don't want to come up with something clever.
You can come. What do you want to say?
No, I said I didn't want to come up with something clever.
I woke up and I say, I'm here to heal my friends when things go sideways.
It doesn't let you through.
And there's like one door as you come through this portal.
Wait, does it allow her through? She's not a man. This is the boys' door.
This is the door where women and men become through.
No, this is the boys' door. Go away.
Yeah.
No girls allowed.
I know.
Yeah, there's one door here.
Griff.
And it says 1 on it.
That's the wrong door.
We gotta go upstairs.
Is there a hallway?
Yeah, is there anything else?
Nope.
There's planes. Oh, we turn like. What if we do a 360?
We turn around and then look back.
Is it 2?
It's 1.
I tried the door.
It's locked.
Oh, could I borrow the
I'll
key?
try the key on it.
The key goes into the lock. You turn it. The numbers begin to like spool up.
Ah.
Like it's like 1, 2, 3, 100,000, 200,000. And just, like really quickly, it takes just a moment as you turn the lock.
Well, whoever's got 1 is real lucky.
Right. They don't have to wait. Yeah. Who knows how high these numbers go?
I think every student gets a new room.
Yeah, effectively, right?
You know what? If you have an endless possible thing, why do you have to have a roommate?
So somehow there's been
Why is there
more
a
than
roommate if everybody gets their own room?
if Atlas had a roommate and they were in room 600,071, how many students have gone through this thing? Because you said they weren't accepting a lot of people.
Yeah, after they hit like
Maybe
1
they
million,
were.
they got
It's a very
tired of
old
doing it, so they
institution.
started narrowing down the list.
I mean, if it's an institution that only takes 6,000 people, it could be 1,000 years old.
No, because they're fitting 2 per room.
Maybe they're not doing
They might have won.
Maybe you took a price bet to live in a room together.
I get the feeling that they're wizards, so they go through rooms very quickly when things go magically wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
If that was the
Probably
case,
get multiple rooms.
but if that was the
Guy who
case,
made
someone
2
else would be
million
living
clones.
here right now. Or is there someone in this room?
It could just be off limits.
Open the door, Crypt!
I just did.
Yeah, you hit the tumblers in the door, and the door opens up before you, and you enter
How many
into
of us?
this.
I hold the door open.
Yeah,
Everybody, how big is this room?
you guys hurry into this room.
Maybe we should leave the door open.
Sure.
It's
Stop the door.
It's evident that this room is a single, and despite it being a single, because it's got only one bed, it's really big. And you suspect that all of these rooms are probably equally big.
I cut my necklace off.
This place has all sorts of like you know, that like what's
What had been your plan?
Posters?
they're posters, but like
Tapestries?
yeah, effectively. You know, it's got all sorts of like ornaments that a college student might have up on their walls, and,
Are there
and there's still like dirty laundry on the floor.
ZZ Top.
I like
Really?
I like the idea of it being a tapestry instead of a poster, but it's still of like a pin-up.
Right, right, and all of these things are, like the room is still dirty, almost like it's exactly in the condition that it was in when you left.
Card.
However, there's one distinction: his chest, which is still there, you notice, which is an elegant chest with silver and brass clasps on it. It's not open, but there is blood stained on the floor around it.
Other people.
People have tried to do this before.
Either that or,
Just
in and touch the
Well, it
check.
could just be. Like,
or nobody's been in there since Edward got.
Just blood, no bodies, no,
No bodies.
bones.
probably-
Just scorch marks and blood.
It's probably just Edgar.
We have the messaging stones, right?
No, we don't have the messaging stones.
I didn't get them in the end.
Never set that up.
All right, cool.
Folly
I
failed
didn't.
us.
No, I got a ring out of it. It's alright.
Is it in the middle of the room?
No, it's against the wall.
It's against the wall. Okay. I'm gonna go onto the right side. So
Before
you're
he-
on the left side.
Yeah,
does
should we
anything,
all just like set up?
We should set it.
Oh man, I hate this so much.
Casting shield on myself.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do?
How long does shield last? Rounds?
Oh,
Shield lasts rounds.
Yeah, rounds per level.
Is the chest on the table?
No,
It's against the wall.
it's on the floor against the wall.
On the floor. Okay. How big is it?
1 minute per level.
The chest is about
Like the width of a human body is about the width of the chest. Oh, I'm sorry.
it's got dimensions, but I don't remember what the dimensions are.
Is it a
Large
big chest
it's
or
big.
a small chest?
It's big.
Big chest ahead.
Yeah, you need two people to pick it up.
It's like a trunk.
That's a pretty big chest if you need two people to pick it up.
It's a trunk.
It's a trunk.
Okay.
Well,
Which is odd because you'd think all his stuff would be magical, like bags of holding.
He got it from his dad. Maybe the magic wasn't as refined back then.
Is this room less than 40 feet long?
It's about 40 feet.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my bow and take out my foldable chair, and I'm going to sit in my chair and wait for someone to touch the chest. And right before someone touches the chest, I'm going to cast a spell.
Okay.
Yeah, people can prepare actions. Yeah. So I'm gonna prepare vanish.
Chicken.
Well, no, I'm gonna stab him immediately afterwards.
Question: do you have a magic weapon?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll pace back about 15 feet from the chest and ready my whip.
Okay. Oh yeah, I stand up and say, okay. It was implied by Etner that the only thing that works against this Ifriti is magical weapons. Or probably magic.
Oh, come on.
So does everybody here have a magical weapon that they are able to use?
Yes.
Griff. That's an important question. Are you, do you know any spells that do damage?
Yep.
Okay, alright, just making sure.
Fireball.
He's also very lucky.
Super lucky.
On a fire thing.
Good thing you haven't used that on us today.
Okay.
Also, luck isn't a superpower.
Yes, it is.
Jeez.
It very much is.
Oh man, what the fuck was that guy? No, Greg! It's like he goes to help the guy and just gets puked on.
Don't do it!
No, just don't do it!
Okay, this is it. The genie is not hidden by an illusion. It's literally in the chest.
Literally in the chest.
Okay, so if I cast Find Fault on it, I can still learn all of the target's weaknesses.
Maybe. Stop asking the dungeon master to tell you whether or not the thing you want to do is going to work. Before it happens.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's still a standard
I feel
action.
like I want to do that. And then, like, really come up with something creative.
Alright, sure, well, you can try. You gotta know how long that spell takes, though.
Yep, I'm gonna look it up. Where's my phone?
Wait 10 minutes.
I'm
Sure.
gonna cast Bear's Endurance on myself, which it lasts 1 minute per level, so that's 7 minutes.
You might want to wait until she figures out how long her spell takes to get.
Sure, you know what? Yeah, I'll wait till then.
If it's a 20-minute spell.
It's something she
Yeah.
wants to do in combat, so if it's too long, she probably won't.
Oh, okay.
Actually, yeah.
You got anything similar to that for me?
I can cast that multiple
It's a
times.
standard action.
But I'm thinking more like
I
less
got bull
endurance, more. Yeah,
I got Bull
that
Strength.
sounds good.
Yeah, so
Strength.
now I have 3 spells I'll cast before
It's
someone touches it.
permanent! Oh, I like that.
Yeah, but how long does it take to?
Well, it's a
Just wait.
standard action.
Oh, cool.
I'm freaking gonna cast a curse on a genie. We're all gonna die. It's great.
Careful of that spell resist.
He's gonna resist everything. This is the highest level spell I've got.
I prepare Bull's Strength on myself, and calling upon my Divine Bond to make my weapon +1 magic.
You're going to do that just before you touch the chest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Less than magic.
Right.
Resist energy, good against fire.
Yeah, resistant energy is how you avoid fire damage.
I'm gonna spend an Arcana point.
Do you know
Yeah, I'm
mass
gonna ready.
resist energy? That would be
Resist
super
energy
useful.
and take out Scorching Ray, and then I'm gonna use resist energy.
Did you not prepare resist? Do you have that in mass? Because that would save a lot of tokuses.
Listen, boy, I can only cast so much a day.
I'm older than you, boy.
It is true. I'm probably the youngest in this group besides Bird Lady. What, how old are you?
16.
Oh, yeah. I'm only 30.
So I'm younger than you too.
Oh shit! I didn't think you were that young. Do. I used a point.
May fly.
I didn't see that.
Not much left.
Okay, he
Cast
has
one
resist
second
energy as
level
well.
and one first level.
So your energy resistance 25.
I've used my
So
1
Sam,
second.
since
We
I
knew
can't-
we were going against the
I don't really know because I got this
It's
spell
fine.
to use, so I don't really
You know
know
how cold
exactly all
takes
about
a
it.
while?
Yeah.
If I do it now before he comes out,
I am at
will it be like ready by the time he comes out? Or is
Yeah.
that something like I could
That's actually a good idea.
Oh,
Okay.
that would have been a
Yeah,
power.
so
We
because
literally could have just asked Atlas to
10
cast that
minutes
on
per
us
level.
repeatedly, and it would have lasted us for like 6 hours, right?
7 hours.
7 hours.
Shit.
So because we
What-
haven't
what
entered
was-
any battle, if
resist
I
energy
prepare
and
call
fire.
all
No, it's not.
lightning,
Oh, I got
It's not per hour. It's 10 minutes per level.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Call lightning.
yeah. So if I prepare it, I can immediately
Oh, yeah,
start
right.
shooting when we begin because I've okay. So I got that okay from him, but I just wanted to. I know you don't like it when I run
Is
things
the
by you.
room big enough for that?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't think it's restricted by the room. It just doesn't.
You get a bonus if there's a storm and you're outside, but
I think so.
you don't.
Yeah, if I'm outdoors, it says hot, cloudy. Is there any sort of marijuana smoke in the room? That might help.
Is everybody ready?
But yes, it functions indoors. Yeah, so I've prepared that.
This room does smell like smoke. It smells like the cigarettes that you've been smoking.
Yeah, of course it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're just.
By the way, I'm doing like all this like just before we decide to open the chest, so it's like I'm not doing this and then waiting on everybody. Obviously.
Is the genie like incorporeal?
You can make a Arcana check.
I'll do that with you.
Knowledge Arcana. Yeah.
I'll do that with you.
Actually, no. Knowledge planar.
Oh well,
Knowledge planar.
I got that too.
I can't do that. check,
20.
so I'm not gonna try.
20?
Yep.
They're not incorporeal.
Okay.
You can hit them.
Sweet.
That's
I mean, you could hit them anyway.
And what's more, you know
But as long as you have
that
magic.
Freddies are immune to fire.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yes.
Which is why.
It's lightning called fire?
No, it's lightning.
Okay.
It's electricity, actually.
Yeah, the elements are electricity, acid, fire, water,
Earth.
force.
Or actually, acid is Earth.
So
And force.
who's planning on doing the majority of the attacking, anyways?
Unfortunately, that's probably
All of us?
gonna be. You do have a magic weapon, actually. Yeah, your first attack will do a lot of damage.
Because I have protection from energy, but I only cast it once.
But will it stack to my resist energy? Elemental.
Question about the knife.
Protection from energy grants temporary immunity to the type of energy specified to cast it, acid, cold, electricity, whatever. When a spell absorbs 12 points per caster level of damage to a maximum of 120 points at 10th level, it is discharged. Protection of energy overlaps but does not stack with resist energy.
Yep.
If
It doesn't stack with what I already cast.
So
I casted it on myself as resist energy.
okay, yeah. If character is warded by protection from energy and resist energy, the protection spell absorbs damage until its power is exhausted, and then you go back to resist energy.
Oh, so it can.
Yeah, it's just a first line defense. Then you go back to resist energy.
Yeah. So if you're resisting 20 fire damage,
Yeah.
and you also have 20 fire shield points,
Yeah. The points go first.
the points go first,
And then it'll go to the resist.
So
either
you're planning on being within touching range of this thing?
samurai.
Yes. Okay, I probably cast it on you then. So I
Yeah,
got 4 things.
tanks.
Yeah. My name's Havoc.
Havoc and I was talking about you as your character boy. Havoc and I are tanks, kind of here.
Okay, so you're going to be
one of us. Yeah.
Yeah, not one of them.
What do you mean I'm not a tank? I got more strength than both of you.
Tank is in strength.
I have a +4.
The tank is in
I have a better attack though.
I'm sitting on a +5 at the moment, and I'm about to go
I
up to
can do
+7.
more. I can do 2 attacks. I can cast
So
it. And I can,
you got rage. I'm
Use
going
a
to
sword.
cast it on him actually, because if you're the tank and you have a magic weapon, right?
Yes.
his mind.
No. I call upon my divine bond to make my magic.
So you're still going to be able to attack, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so I got 4 things I'm going to do. Actually, why don't I just say them right now, just to get them out of the way.
Okay.
So 1, I cast, what was it? Bear's Endurance on me, which gives me a +4 to Constitution. That's temporary, but it does not act as temporary hit points.
Yeah, those hit points are real, but they're not cute.
It's like the way rage works.
Now, how many hit points do I get from that anyways, if I have a +4?
You get 14.
14. Okay. Then I'm going to cast Bull Strength on Havoc.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Protection from Energy on Dr.
Hippocampus.
Hippocampus.
And that makes sense because he's in front of me because I have a 15-foot reach with my improved weapon.
And that does 12 points. 12 times 7 is something or another. Over 70.
14, 84.
84. 84 points of damage you can take.
A fire.
A fire.
So this is meta. Sam, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is the knife able to split into multiple?
No.
No, it has to be a solid.
It's got to be one continuous thing.
Okay. So I was thinking.
It looks at you critically when you're trying to like pull it apart. It's like,
could you like coat both of these knives?
Oh, and then I cast Prayer, which is one of my last third level spells, and what that does
this is going to be a hell of a fight.
If I can just give me 1 second. It's in here. Prayer does a lot actually.
I mean, I might as well just do it with it anyway. Depends upon. I can just drop the knife if I don't need it.
Okay, so what Prayer does is
Like, what's the worst that can happen?
it
Do that myself.
We're in one.
What?
Not universe, but
here we go. So
Fine.
Prayer gives a +1 to everything: attack rolls, weapon damage rolls, saves, and skill checks for all of us, everybody here, because it's a burst of 40 feet, and it lasts 7 rounds. So this is right before someone touches the chest.
Yeah.
And it does a -1 on all those rolls for the enemy.
Okay. Yeah, you can prepare that as an action for once somebody touches it.
Yeah, once somebody touches it. So all those things all happen at once.
So I've got vanish on
Icy burst on
prepared,
my
so
weapon.
that way once somebody touches it, I
Just so you
disappear,
know,
and then I
which-
stand immediately.
What did you
Gives
say
it
that is?
A +1 on everything that you do, and a -1 on the foes.
Is that for everyone?
So
Everyone.
If the weapon critical multiplier is times
Well, I mean,
3,
assuming
add
you're all
extra
within
2d10.
40 feet of me.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is the room.
Yeah, so everyone.
Your modifier is not times 3.
No, but why would they suggest it times 4?
And it lasts for 7
It
rounds.
heals an extra 1d10. But if it's more than times, if it's
So once
more
the
than
rounds is up, it goes away.
Joe, is 10 plus spell level plus character modifier? Does that sound like my spell DC?
Yes.
I ask Volley very quickly, what are they called? Iggy?
It's Freddy.
They're Freddy's.
Guineas.
Are they characterized as chaotic or evil?
Would my 20
yeah,
know
your
that?
20 knows. The answer is yes. They're lawful evil.
They're
Evil is still
assholes.
evil. It doesn't matter if it's chaotic for you.
So I cast protection from evil on myself as well.
Okay.
Really stacked.
So you guys like
everybody have
fall
a
into this
plan.
room, and then World of Warcraft raid style. It's like
Remember.
Oh
shit. What's the currency?
DKP.
Yeah, remember, if you fuck up, you don't get any.
Many helps.
I go up.
All right, we need to rotate out the shaman into the healing pool for that manatide totem, and then
I'm going to switch out with an Arcana point. Steel voice for bull strength, by the way. That's for future. I'm not putting it on myself yet because I got to put other stuff on first.
I put my hand over the chest and give a look to everyone.
Hold on. I want to try something first.
What?
I'm going to use a spell to try to open it.
Okay.
It seems like a terrible idea.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay,
Open
wait.
close.
doesn't work.
Doesn't work. Okay, that makes it easier.
Yeah,
I'm like, the only other thing I have is I have a Arcana mark from.
you can
Atlas
certainly
on my
try it.
hand.
That sounds like a good time.
You gave it to me. I don't know if it has any.
You didn't think to ask.
What do you mean? I didn't think to ask. I planned this. It's up to you guys if you want me to try to use it.
What does that do?
I just have Alice's Arcana mark on my hand.
Explain what that does.
I'm hoping you'll sense his energy on my hand.
Well, go ahead. What?
It won't work.
You could have asked him if that would work.
Oh no, we probably.
You might as well touch it.
Just touch it.
Just touch it.
I have Ray of Enfeeblement ready to go as soon
I touched the
if
chest.
it doesn't work.
Okay.
Make sure you have it aimed at the wall and not me.
So you touch
No,
this.
Ray of Enfeeblement.
So
So when he comes out, I'm gonna hit him.
Is a ray of... Go.
Dr. Hippocampus touches this chest. And it burns him on the touch.
Ah!
And he pulls his hand back. You're fine.
Oh, it's toasty.
You take 4 damage.
Resistance.
Resistance.
Yeah,
no
more fire damage. It's fire damage.
Yeah.
Chipping away.
And as you do, this chest begins to like rattle and rumble and glow, and it doesn't like pop open, but from the glow, it spontaneously ignites on fire, and from the fire, this like bellowing flame and smoke starts to fill the room, and it gets hard to see, and your eyes get a little bit watery, and it's a little bit irritating, and you're like, oh god. And from that, you hear this bellowing, deep, dark tone. But unless you speak Ignan, you don't understand it.
I do.
And your sword does.
It does. Thanks for giving me that.
And so, it's
So transfer. In real, what is it saying in English?
It says, Atlas, I will have your blood!
Ah. I translate that to everybody.
And then,
That's no fun.
Well, is he a physical manifestation at this point?
not yet.
Okay.
You smoke. He's making an entrance.
I have Raven try to talk him down. That's up to you.
So you guys hear this, you guys hear from Duffy.
Ah!
Ah, damn.
You were so
You were doing
close.
so well.
Ah, no, that was the first one. You guys hear from Bali. This Ignan voice respond, and it's rattling off, but it almost, you can tell that it's not being listened to. And
Sorry.
from this flame, you see this like sword slash through the smoke, and it's got fire on it, and it steps through this large creature.
Shadow and flame.
Right. And
You shall not
so
pass.
it just sort of reaches into the room,